Welcome to Chat with Charlie on Mum Matters, the real talk podcast for mums navigating the beautiful chaos of motherhood. I'm Charlie, mum of 5, here to help you feel more confident and less overwhelmed from pregnancy to those am I doing this right moments we all have. We talk about the stuff that no one prepares you for, so go and grab a cuppa and let's dive in. Hey, and welcome to today's episode of Chat with Charlie on Mum Matters. Today we're going to talk about the roller coaster before birth, the excitement, the panic, and everything in between. Firstly, thank you for being here again this week for our podcast. I want to talk about everything else that goes with preparing to have your baby. So you've packed your hospital bag, but how do you prepare your heart and your mind for the biggest change of your life, meeting your baby and becoming a mom? Crazy, huh? There's an emotional build-up before labour. The closer you get, the more real it feels. You have so many mixed emotions: the excitement, the panic, the worry, the joy, the countdown effect. Like every day could be the day the baby's coming. It's those feelings and questions that we often ask ourselves. Will I cope? Will I bond with my baby? What if I don't bond with my baby? Am I ready to let go of my old self? My personal experience, I was so focused on meeting my new baby, so focused on the pregnancy side of things, how I felt during pregnancy. Your mind doesn't always go to what's going to happen after. It does drift there. There's all these different flashes of what will I be like as a mom? Or I don't know if I can do labour. I don't know if I'm going to get through this. And by the way, you do. Somehow, miraculously, you do. I have had, I think, every type of labour that you could possibly have. And each time you wonder, can I do this? Can my body do this? What am I actually doing? I remember when I was pregnant, and certain points of pregnancy, you don't feel your greatest. I remember thinking to myself, what have I done to myself? But then in the next breath, I'm totally emotional because I am growing a baby and it's my baby and I can't wait to meet the baby. It's an absolute emotional roller coaster. As I got closer to my due date, I remember just feeling so ready to meet my baby. There were moments where I didn't actually care about the labour and I wasn't worried. I just want the baby here already. And then there were other moments where I was terrified about going into labour and how is this baby actually going to get out? It's such a variety of different feelings. So you have all those moments of panic mixed with overwhelm, mixed with joy. What I think I'd wished I'd have known. It goes back to the previous podcast. If you haven't listened to that about conversations that you should have with your partner before baby comes, definitely listen to that because that's a big part of the emotional preparation for me. I wasn't ready for how I was going to feel after having my baby. I think your mind goes all of a blur. You've got to focus on the practical things like packing your hospital bag, your birth plan, the logistics of having a baby. The emotional stuff creeps in there. You can't possibly know how you're going to feel after having a baby. But I was not emotionally prepared for how much it would change my life and how I was actually going to feel. Just take a moment to breathe and just enjoy each moment as you're coming closer to having your baby and connect with yourself. I really think that's something that I didn't do that I wish that I had have done. You sort of carried through this pregnancy and you're counting down the weeks, you're counting down by appointments, by what you've got to do, how you should be feeling, what size baby is, what vegetable size they are. The anticipation of having this baby is just so much, so big. Just take a moment to actually breathe and think about how you're feeling. I think the emotional journey matters because it's not just a physical journey. Birth is a huge emotional transition. So preparing emotionally can help reduce anxiety and the overwhelm of everything that you're going through. A calmer, kinder mindset helps both you and your baby. Some practical tips for emotional preparation. Just acknowledge your feelings. Don't ignore anything. Don't push away the panic and the fear. Let them be a normal part of how you're feeling, a normal part of the journey of being pregnant and having a baby. If you can't talk about it with your partner always, talk about it with a friend, your mom, or a midwife. Sharing anything that's on your mind, anything at all, reduces the weight, the heaviness of it. Your birth plan makes things calm. Create preferences, but always stay flexible. Your birth plan doesn't always go to plan. And I think a lot of women get very upset when the birth plan doesn't go to plan. But in my experience, 5 babies, I don't think I've had a birth plan go to plan, except for when it was my planned C-sections. That went to plan. But my actual labours, where I went into labour, even my natural birth didn't go to plan. So just be a bit flexible and a bit mindful that it's guidelines, really. Visualize meeting your baby. Picture that first cuddle. Instead of focusing on the labour, focus on the end point, the gift that you get after all the labour. Simple calming tools are deep breathing. Connect with yourself. I'm no professional on breathing, but I know that breathing helps, and it's definitely helped me in so many situations. I think breathing is really underrated. It's so powerful when you just sit there and connect with your breath. Mindfulness, journaling as well, writing things down, writing your feelings down, getting things off your head, especially before you go to sleep at night. We can have this spiraling effect of lying in bed, thinking about stuff and processing, then the story gets bigger and the panic gets more. Whereas if you just write things down, just jot it down. I am feeling worried about XYZ. I want to research XYZ tomorrow. I need to do XYZ tomorrow. It definitely helps me. Your mind then becomes free. Because let's be honest, trying to sleep in pregnancy, especially later on in pregnancy, it's not the easiest, is it? So writing things down is a big one for me. You need to do whatever it is to release the pressure that you're feeling, building up towards having your baby and through the whole of pregnancy. You don't need to be 100% ready. None of us are. Give yourself a bit of grace as well. Becoming a mom is a process. It's not an instant switch. You've been one kind of person for the whole of your life. Now you're just about to become a different kind of person that you've never experienced before. And whilst mother instinct kicks in, there is no feeling like holding that baby in your arms, and something does change in you. But there are things that you're going to have to learn over time, that you're going to have to adapt to, that your baby will have to adapt to as well. You're both learning, and it's not an instant switch. So just give yourself time and grace for that. It's completely normal to feel unprepared. I don't think any of us feel fully ready, but when the time comes, you will rise to the occasion. You will be ready, and you will be so amazed at what you can do, at what your body can do, at yourself. I think the thinking of it ahead is harder than actually going through it, than actually doing it. Meeting your baby is overwhelming. It's beautiful. It's transformative all at once. And that's the thing about motherhood as well, is that you get a lot of feelings all mushed together. So be kind to yourself through it. And if you want to feel super prepared, because I have gone through this so many times, I think each time I have experienced a different thing, a different emotion, a different course of actions have happened, which we will be discussing throughout the journey of these podcasts. That's the reason that I wanted to talk to you about my journey, my podcasts, all my experiences through birth, labour, motherhood, all of it. Because I've had such a variation of experiences that I feel I can help you understand parts of your journey, why they're happening, and help you prepare in ways that I didn't and I couldn't. So if you're listening to this and you want a bit more guidance, I've actually put everything that I wish I'd have known as a first-time mum into my First-Time Mum Ultimate Handbook course. It takes you step by step from pregnancy right through to baby's first birthday with all the real advice, checklists, practical tools, milestones, preparing yourself for motherhood, even going back to work, your baby's first birthday, and everything in between that I could think of that would help you on this journey. I will help you as much as I can through these podcasts and talking through it. I'm here with you in as many ways as I possibly can be. The First-Time Mum Ultimate Handbook is like having me as your friend. Hold your hand the whole of the first year so you can feel prepared and one step ahead so that you can mentally prepare yourself for what's to come. A huge thing that I feel, and I always say, each baby is so individual and develops by itself in its own time. There's no rush. Milestones are just a guideline, but I will go through the guidelines of milestones and what you can expect in the First-Time Mum Ultimate Handbook. It's just another way for you to have me in your pocket for the first year. The link to my website, my Stan store, is in the show notes and you can check that out. But just be kind to yourself. You're about to embark on a massive transition in your life, a huge journey. So yes, pack your hospital bag, have it ready by the door, but also take a check-in with yourself and make sure that you're emotionally ready too. Thanks for listening to Chat with Charlie on Mum Matters. Find ongoing support in the Mum Matters community. Link is in the show notes, because behind every child is a mum who matters. See you next time.